afternoon, everyone, and thank you for choosing Across the Fence. I'm Will Michael in for Fran Stoddard. School's normally out for the summer, but not at the University of Vermont. The Agritech Innovation Program is a week-long summer academy for middle and high school students held on the UVM campus. Agritech combines 4-H's model of learning by doing with an immersive college experience. Participants learn from university professors, they work in university labs, and create projects that demonstrate the latest in agricultural science. When it's over, the students present their work to their peers and a panel of judges in a bit of a friendly competition. Across the Fence was right there when the students were studying precision agriculture inside and out.
The reason that this side produces
the students touring the University of Vermont's Horticultural Research Center are part of UVM's Agritech Innovation Program. This week-long residential experience provides 7th through 11th graders opportunities to learn hands-on about cutting-edge agricultural practices. This tour is looking at the practice of precision agriculture. It's a way to manage a farm using cutting-edge computer technology. This visit puts students outside on the farm before they go inside a virtual world that they're creating using game simulation software.
If you were thinking about that from a precision ag point of view,
UVM professor in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, Scott Merrill, is their guide in both the real and virtual world.
So can you explain what the digital divide is?
first of all, the Hort Farm is cool. It's got a lot of really exciting experiments going on, and I wanted them to see some of the variability on the landscape that can be captured in a precision sense. With that, they can create, and they are in the process of recreating the Hort Farm. And they can put in things like the sun at a certain angle that's being shaded by that row of trees that, does this. So we can actually create these environments where you can really see how using the variability in that system can benefit the farmer.
Something to indicate that they don't have as much land to work with. Yeah.
Merrill directs UVM's Social Ecological Gaming and Simulation Lab, SEGS for short. He and his students create computer games or simulations to help solve problems created by natural disasters like floods and fires as a result of climate change. Precision agricultural practices can be used in a similar way to achieve best management practices like fertilizer application to prevent nutrient runoff or using GPS data to cite the optimal location to plant a crop. Whether in the real world or a virtual one, these students are committed to doing their part.
We're helping mainly farmers, helping manage and use their materials efficiently to also help climate and pollution. One of the things we learned about was trying to educate people and getting them to understand, which we had to use coding for. We used Unity, which was coding software, to try and create a simulator to show people what it does and how it benefits.
You gotta put a lot of thought into it and see, will this actually help or not?
I'm learning about precision agriculture and using machine learning and other and technological advancements in order to improve agriculture.
I believe that precision agriculture is our future. Everything is becoming more modernized and technology is improving. So things that in the past didn't involve technology now do. And I think you learn a bit more when you're playing a game, even if it's educational.
The projects the students create will be used as precision agriculture tutorials.
You guys, this is the game I made.
It's already breaking.
Okay.
Jack Hoyler has created a game that shows best management practices for pesticide application.
You can use video games to help people understand things better. The goal is to put the right amount of pesticide, which is the precision agriculture part.
I need to just get it working on touch.
Allowing students to play on a college campus and learn from a professor goes a long way in preparing middle and high school students for academic success.
One of the things that we're trying to do is open the doors to, there's these other jobs, there's these other paths, there's all these things that are available to you.
It might take a while too.
A lot of people come into computer programming and think it's scary. Introducing new technologies and fun things like Unity, where they can create games and get excited about the science, and then potentially actually have a positive impact on the environment with precision agriculture. I think everybody wins in that situation.
Though they differ in age, these students are already playing with the idea of where they might like to go to college. Do you think you might like to go to UVM?
Yeah, definitely. There's so many different parts of the agriculture science.
I think it's important to know what comes later in life so you're not unprepared. I know that in high school we'll be getting a lot more homework, so in 8th grade our teachers will prepare us by giving us more homework. That's preparing us, and this is preparing us for college in a way that gives us the experience that we need to get through college and not fall back.
Do you think you'd like to go to college when you're
Oh yeah, definitely.
How about UVM?
I know it's kind of hard to get into. I think you have to get a lot of good grades. I'd like to get into this school. It's pretty close to home. I like the stuff they do here. It's pretty big though.
Being just dropped into the middle of a really new place is hard, and that's how it was kind of in the beginning of the week. I'd only been here once before when my mom took me to work. So having been here before is going to help with not just like getting lost on my way to my first class and stuff like that.
Let's team up
After a week of living, studying, and playing at UVM this summer, the students in the Agritech Innovation Program are already ahead of the game. At the University of Vermont, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.
Thank you, Keith. Joining us now is a co-creator and organizer of the Agritech Innovation Program, and she's the statewide director of Extension's 4-H program, Sarah Kleinman. Sarah, great to have you with us this afternoon.
Great to be here, thanks.
Second year that UVM 4-H and the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences have worked together to offer Agrotech. What'd you learn from last year? Anything that you incorporated into year 2?
We did, yeah, of course, with any first year program, there's lots of changes. There were probably 2 major ones. The first is that we extended the program just a little bit. Last year, there was, it was pretty intensive, of course, and we wanted it to be intensive academically, and so there were probably wasn't enough time for the participants to kick back a little bit, not enough time for transitions.
A little reflection.
A little reflection,
yeah.
Also some more social opportunities for the kids, participants to get to know each other. So we did extend in the beginning and at the end to add an additional day. And then also the mentor component. So we have undergraduate student mentors that are an integral component. They're part of the agroecology fellowship program. And they're here as part of their program working with scientists. But part of that is to build on leadership components and also be able to take, I guess, the part of science and research and be able to work with other people and build that leadership and understand how that applies to everyday individuals. And so by implementing that with our students, we help to build their leadership skills even with a younger generation. And that component needed some fine-tuning from last year, so we worked the orientation piece of it, the education piece of it, and we're hoping that we strengthen that for this current summer.
I know you must be doing a lot right, because you had students who returned for year 2, which was part of the plan, but it wasn't predicated on that. In other words, the kids had an option, and you had several that returned for year 2.
We did, yeah. I think there were actually maybe 5 or 6. We did have, we had a rule that they couldn't come back to the same academies. So we saw a number of people that did want to come back and try to gain entry. It's a selective process to different academies, and we did. So that does show us that people had a good time, that they learned something and wanted to come back. That felt good.
So does that mean now that you're planning, and you're just out of this one, here I am jumping into next year, are you planning a year 3 of the academy?
Well, we are. It's a 3-year project, and so we haven't quite finished this year. We have a final event that's coming up, and we need to get through that. And then after that's over, we'll take a breather and begin to think about next year, where we'll add in another academy and think about what that plan will be and what it'll look like, and if we need to make any changes. But yes, there'll be another year.
There was so much about it. I commented to you as we were watching once again the young people, the youth in the piece. So very well spoken, very mature, so knowledgeable. And so I found it really interesting to get a glimpse of Professor Merrill's academy with the computer science, specifically the design and the simulations. That's that's a really important aspect of the program, obviously.
For sure. The precision agriculture and that particular academy was, that one was well thought out for us. It was very different than our other two academies. We really wanted to bring in something that was different, especially in agriculture. We know that there's lots of different careers and lots of different fields, and so something that is computer-based and uses more data and a different skill set that your average, I think, person who thinks about 4-H and thinks about agriculture may not kind of put together. And so for kids who are interested in computers, we wanted to have something that would attract them and then be able to see how that relates to agriculture. We know just like cars are getting much more complex right now with self-driving cars, the same thing is happening with farm equipment. And so we need to engage those kinds of kids and those kinds of skills to be able to develop that kind of farm equipment, and also have farmers and people that are working in agriculture know how to use that equipment to be able to move forward and advance in technology.
So year 2 of a 3-year program, and I'm going to point out, this is free. This includes the meals, it includes the residence halls every day. How do you do that?
Well, we have a very generous grant from USDA, and it was many thousands of dollars. And so, we wrote for that project. We have a 3rd-year project, and we hope that we will be able to find funders to sustain it, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's not cheap, but we were very grateful. The project is intentional, that we were looking to find those that are underrepresented in agriculture, which includes females and people that are from BIPOC communities. And hopefully there'll be some generous funders that'll keep us and be able to sustain that into the future.
Sarah, I need to stop us there as we're just about out of time. I want to share with our viewers that for more information about Agritech, as well as any other 4-H programs all across the state, you just check the website that we put there on the screen, or you can call the 4-H office at the toll-free number 1-800-571-0668. Sarah Kleinman, thanks very much for being with us, the Agritech Academy. A lot of fun.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
That's our program for today. We know you have choices, so thanks for choosing us. I'm Will Michael, inviting you to join us back here each weekday afternoon for another visit across the fence.